Do we have a whole new resin art technique off the back of the previous one? I'm already predicting it's going to begin to run off of the cabochon because it's very, I'm sticking my finger on the other one now. I've had a few days off and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, are you ready? That is stunning. Right, we are back. Hope you all enjoyed your lovely little Christmas break or whatever you did. So, many of you have seen the previous two videos, hashtag 307 and 308, where we created these really cool pieces by dripping alcohol inks on PVA glue and then dipping the clear cabochon into that. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out. They're really cool. So, I want to see if I can get this to work, but on the front. And I think the only way I'm going to be able to do this is with a white cabochon. I suppose other colours could work as well, but we are going to have an issue because obviously the PVA is going to want to run off the cabochon. So, yeah, I'm just going to see if we can get it to work. So again, I'm just using a coin capsule for this. I'm going to try one with clear PVA and one with white PVA glue. I'm not sure if there's going to be a difference, so we'll find out. I'm just going to pour in some white PVA glue into this side and the same with the clear PVA glue in this side. I'm slowly making a dent on this very, very large bottle I got a year or so ago. It's coming up to the halfway mark now, but this is great because it means that I can use more. And as always, we're using the Let's Resin alcohol inks, the 26 ink set here. I'm thinking of using browns, yellows and red. Got a coffee there. There is a brown, I think. I'm not sure if I've got any of that one left. Yeah, I found it. Okay, so I've got brown, orange, red, coffee and yellow. And I'm just going to randomly just drip some of these colours into here. I don't even know if I've opened this. I have opened the brown. And that might be a bit too dark. I don't know. We'll find out. Coffee. I'm going to use the yellow on top of the browns as well, just to brighten them up, because they are very dark. That's the coffee. I'm going with an orange in between. Again, it is random. So we do need to wait, again, like we discovered in the previous video. We do need to wait for these alcohol inks to evaporate before we go dipping anything into them. And that will allow the PVA glue to thicken, so hopefully it won't run off the cabochons as much. Don't quote me on that. Anything could go wrong. Right, I'm just going to let these sit for 5 or so minutes, and then if I need to add more, I'll add more. So it's been a couple of minutes, and the tricky thing is, with the white PVA glue, because there's that opaqueness to the PVA glue, it looks very, very different to the clear. So the clear looks very, very patchy. I keep saying very, very. Very, very. I am just going to add some more to this. Again, just randomly drop them in. And now I think I want a little bit more up here, just to brighten it up a little bit. Now we just wait. I'm going to give these an hour or so just for all that alcohol to evaporate from the inks and for the glue to thicken up a bit. So whilst those inks are doing their thing and the glue's beginning to thicken, we need to think about the cabochon. So there's a couple of ways you could do this. With epoxy, you're going to need epoxy because you don't want to go colouring UV resin with too much white pigment, because it's just not going to cure all the way through. So you could colour your epoxy with a white pigment paste, whether you've got one like this or a homemade one, or you could use a polyurethane resin, which I'm probably going to use because it's really, really quick and it takes about 10 minutes to cure, and that cures white. What else could you do? You could potentially use a clear cabochon if this works. and paint it with white acrylic paint and then do the dipping, because we are going to dip with the UV resin to hopefully seal everything in if this works. But yeah, I'm just going to use polyurethane just because it's quick and easy and it cures white anyway, so might as well. And for that it is again just the Let's Resin polyurethane. Okay, so these have now been sitting for a couple of hours. You can see the difference. The white PVA, the ink seems to have, you know, stayed in. I did have to add some more to both, but look, the clear, it's just not the same. So I'm going to have to just move these around a little bit, just so that I get some kind of even coverage on the surface. I don't think it's going to be quite thick enough. This one I think I'm going to leave as it is because I can dip with that. So I have my 2 white resin cabochons and I'm going to be using... Now, a big apology, especially to Fran at Little Windows, because I accidentally said these were from Let's Resin in my previous video. It just rolled off the tongue. I do apologise. But talking about this, Fran sent me a rather upsetting email a couple of days ago. Might have been yesterday. Yeah, a couple of days ago. Another company has basically copied. I'm not going to say who it is because they have taken it off the market at the moment. They've copied them. It's not Let's Resin, I'll say that much. And Fran's really upset because obviously she goes in a lot of work to create things like this, and for another company to just completely steal her ideas and try and sell them is outright cheeky. So if you see things like this, hole makers for resin for sale by a different company, they've stolen the idea from Fran. So feel free to bombard them with comments saying as such, because I don't believe that's nice. It's not ethical, is it? It's not nice. But they have taken them off the market for now, which is why I'm not naming any names. Okay, so I'm going to stick my hole maker on the back, same as we did with the other dipping technique. Now, I need something. I think when I flip this over, I'm going to have to put it on top of something. I think I'll try, might be a bit too wide. I'll try this. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Oh well, here it goes. So I'm already predicting it's going to begin to run off of the cabochon. I mean, it's going to do that, isn't it? There's not so much colour because the white PVA glue, the inks are on the surface and now it's in reverse. I'm hoping this dries kind of clear. This is going to be fiddly. So I now need to pop off that and rest it on this cup. And just, I don't know. Let me get this glue off my glove. Yeah, you can see it running down the sides already. I don't know whether I should have waited for the polyurethane resin until just before doing this, because I think the heat probably would have helped the glue to dry a bit quicker and cling a bit quicker. I don't know, but I'm just going to let most of it drip off, try and get it centered on the cup properly, and just put the rest of the glue back in as it's dripping as much as I can. I don't think it's not going to be any way to stop this from happening, guys. I'm going to move on to the other one and just come back to that in a minute. I just hope it doesn't all come off. Maybe I should have sanded the cabochon. It is an experiment. Anything can happen. I can see in this one, look, now I've stirred it, I see some Petri effect, which is interesting. Petri in PVA without a sinker. Right. In with this one. My suction caps come off. Just go round and try and coat the whole thing. And again, really fiddly. Pop that off. Another cup. And just rest that. There's areas, this is messy. There's areas that aren't covered. So I'm hoping it does drip down and cover those. As always, massive shout out to my channel members. Anyone, I'm getting my words kerfuffled. Massive shout out to my channel members. Anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, and to all our subscribers. I'm not too keen on that. But I'm just going to wait for a few minutes. Just move that aside. Okay. Now I'm just going to go round the edges and just clean them up a bit. Make sure all the sides are covered. And I think I'm just going to have to be attentive until it stops running. I can't see it being too long because it is, look, it is stringy. And this one here is not quite covered around the sides. I think I could, if I wanted to, possibly like do swirls over the top. But it is starting to look nice. But now I'm thinking that white background, the white cabochon, maybe it's a bit too white. Maybe I should have done like a beige colour cabochon. I don't know, guys. I think if it works and it doesn't all fall off, we can then explore different colours. Maybe nail powder backgrounds, golds, things like that. I don't know. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes and they're not running down as much as I thought they would. What I'm doing, I'll take you down. What I'm doing is making sure that the bits that are touching the cup are kind of separated, because when it comes to this being dry and I lift it off, I don't want the whole thing to be bonded in one piece. So I peel it off and it peels off the cabochon. So I need it to be separated around the sides. I think I could have done with something a bit narrower to prevent this from happening, but it's done now. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on, but I don't think any more is going to run down now. I'm just hoping this white PVA one that looks really nice, I'm hoping it dries a bit clearer, because it's very, I'm sticking my finger on the other one now. I've had a few days off and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Yeah, I'm just going to leave these now to dry overnight. Okay guys, it has been overnight. It's the next day. So this is the bit that I'm really worried about. Not this particular bit. I think this part, hopefully, will be fine. Yeah, so minimal cleaning up really. Just go around the edges and peeling off that excess. I think some of it might still be a little bit wet, but I can clean that off, no problem. Okay, so I'm definitely preferring this one, but I think the colours, I'm not sure. I mean, I wanted to go for something quite natural, like a natural marbly stone effect, but the concept is just to see if it works. We could play around with colours afterwards. I might have to use a sharp knife on the edge of this one. Okay, so the next bit I am worried about, and that is the dipping. Now we know we've done the dipping with the PVA glue on the back. It shouldn't, hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. Get off, it's stuck to my hand. I'm just worried with this that it's going to separate. Now with the white PVA glue, we've got a really nice matte finish. It's quite textured as well. With the clear, we've got a very glossy finish. Now obviously we do still need to dip this, because the PVA, if that gets scratched, it's just going to peel off the cabochon. So I'm going to do my dipping. I'm not going to show the whole gluing the stick and whatnot. If you haven't seen how I do that, go and check out video 307. It will explain all of that. But yeah, let's dive in. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. I just really hope it works. I do not want to see any fish eyes, any separation on the surface of the cabochon. Just let that excess drip off for a minute. I mean, so far so good. I can't see anything separating on the surface, which is a huge, huge relief. So I'm now going to keep turning this in a moment. Once that last few drips have dripped off, keep turning that underneath my lamp. Okay, that's had a minute underneath the beast, and now just to check to make sure that it has actually cured properly, and it has. I can't see any loose resin, any movement. I'm really impressed that that's worked. Yeah, that is a massive bonus. Now for the other one. Okay, do we have a whole new resin art technique off the back of the previous one? Let's find out. Okay, are you ready? That is stunning. Okay, we're all done. I have actually made another two. Now I know it works, and they're really, really cool. I'll show you in a moment. So this again was the one with the clear. Overly fond with it, but some of the streaks, some of the effects in it are really, really nice. I'm really impressed with how well this works. That looks like a hair in there, but it's not. It's actually the inks. But it's got like a wood effect to it in certain areas as well. So it would be really fun to explore this. But as always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment if you haven't subbed, hit that button for me. If you're watching on YouTube TV, grab your phone or your tablet and just search me up and subscribe. So I love this one. Absolutely love this one. Imagine this with a gold underneath. I'm definitely going to try that in another video, definitely a follow-up video. But the trick is with this, when you're dipping, try and dip off as much excess as you can so it fits in your hardware still. Because if you don't, the diameter is going to increase and it's just not going to, it's not going to fit in the bezel. I can't get that out now. It's perfectly, that's without glue. Okay, I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that later. But yeah, it fits snugly. Just make sure you drip off that excess. But imagine these wire wrapped. I might quickly transfer them into some existing stuff that I've already made with some wires. So this was the clear again. I did again. Just to try and get a bit more color over the front, but you can see it still does have some white areas, but it's still, I mean, this area down here looks like hills. It reminds me of like a Japanese artwork. So I think with some blues that would really work well. And the last one, this one's interesting. So what I did with this one is I dipped it in the clear first. I wasn't happy because I dipped it after I dipped this one. So this one took most of the ink. So I wasn't happy. So I dipped this one in the white one straight away afterwards. And then I used the heat gun to accelerate because it was running quite bad. So I used the heat gun quickly over the surface. And what that did was kind of slightly separated the PVA glue from the white cabochon in certain areas. So what that's given us is it does look like a gold shimmer underneath. I don't know if you can see that. Almost like a real cracked stone effect. It's really hard to show on the camera, but you can see it. It's got like a shimmer in certain areas. So it's given a really nice layered. So we can, again, dip them, but the trouble is that one doesn't fit inside there because I did go in with a double dip. But we do need to explore a little bit more with this. I'm loving it. Try different colors. Right, let me see if I can get one of these or two in some wire. There it is. Maybe a silver would work better. I'm not the best at wire wrapping. I made this a long time ago, but I can swap them out just by bending the wires. but it does look, it looks so real. It looks like a natural stone. It's absolutely stunning. And there it is inside a bangle made a very long time ago. So works so well. Really, really nice. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Have fun experimenting. Again, if you've got a YouTube channel and you try this, go and drop me a tag and I'll come and check out exactly what color combos, how you do yours. But there will be, again, another follow-up video using some, maybe some brighter colors and try and get them to pop with some powders behind, some nail powders. But yeah, I will see you. Happy New Year to you all, because there's probably not going to be another video before New Year. Yeah, stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and party hard. See you for the next one. Bye for now.